When we think of Saint Thérèse of Lisieux, we imagine the Carmelite nun who wrote Story of a Soul and inspired millions with her little way. But behind this radiant saint was a hidden childhood full of challenges, joys, and moments that prepared her for her short yet extraordinary life. Thérèse was born in 1873 in Alencon, France, the youngest of 9 children. Her parents, Louis and Zélie Martin, were devout Catholics who wanted nothing more than to raise a family rooted in faith. Out of their 9 children, only 5 daughters survived infancy, and Thérèse was the youngest of them all. From the very beginning, she was known for her sensitivity and strong will. When Thérèse was just 4 years old, tragedy struck her family. Her mother, Zélie, died of breast cancer, leaving Louis to care for their daughters alone. This loss deeply affected Thérèse. She later wrote that losing her mother at such a young age was one of the greatest sorrows of her life. The family moved to Lisieux soon after, where the girls would be raised with the help of their relatives. In Lisieux, Thérèse clung to her father with a tenderness that was almost inseparable. Louis, whom she called her king, treated his daughters with a gentle and noble love, giving them a vision of fatherhood that reflected the love of God himself. At the same time, her sisters took on the role of mothers. Pauline, in particular, became a second mother to her, guiding her in prayer and devotion. Thérèse's childhood was marked by a mix of joyful play and deep spiritual impressions. She had a lively imagination, often staging little plays with her sisters, but she was also deeply emotional, prone to tears, and very sensitive to even small criticisms. She admitted later that she was spoiled and easily hurt, but this sensitivity became a key part of her path to holiness. It showed her just how much she needed God's grace. One striking memory she recorded was the day she received a toy dress from her sister Pauline. Little Thérèse was so overwhelmed with joy at this simple gift that she ran to her room, hugged it tightly, and wept with happiness. For her, every act of love, no matter how small, left a deep mark. These moments helped her begin to understand that holiness could be lived not in grand achievements, but in the simplicity of daily life. Her family's faith was the foundation of everything. The Martin home was filled with prayer, daily mass, works of charity, and trust in God. Even as a child, Thérèse felt drawn to love Jesus with her whole heart. She had a deep devotion to the Blessed Virgin Mary and believed that Mary had personally saved her during a serious illness in her childhood. But not everything was serene. Thérèse often felt abandoned when her sisters left one by one to join religious life. Each departure reopened the wound of her mother's death and intensified her fear of being left alone. When Pauline, her beloved second mother, entered the Carmelite convent, the loss was so great that Thérèse fell gravely ill. Doctors could not explain her condition, and her family feared for her life. It was during this crisis that something miraculous happened. As her sisters prayed by her bedside, Thérèse looked at a statue of the Virgin Mary and suddenly felt a wave of peace and healing. She described the statue as smiling at her, and from that moment on, her health was restored. This experience convinced her of Mary, as maternal care, and strengthened her desire to belong entirely to God. Even in these early years, we can see the seeds of her spirituality. Thérèse was learning that life is full of losses and struggles, but also filled with little graces, small acts of love, and a God who works through the hidden and the ordinary. Her childhood was not one of constant joy, but of deep preparation, forming in her a heart that would later embrace the little way. Looking at the childhood of Thérèse, we realize that even saints begin in weakness. Her tears, her sensitivity, her need for constant reassurance, all of these imperfections became the soil where God planted the seeds of holiness. And this is where the beauty of her message lies. We do not need to be extraordinary to become saints. We simply need to bring our smallness, our fragility, and our love to God, trusting Him to transform it into something great. Before ending, let me invite you to continue this journey with us. In the next video, we will explore the Christmas grace that transformed Thérèse's soul and set her firmly on the path of holiness. If you want to follow her story and discover the secrets of the little way, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and share it with someone who might need encouragement today. Together, we will continue uncovering the hidden treasures of this little saint who became a doctor of the Church.